Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Mayor Van Johnson.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Estella Shabazz.
Present.
Alderwoman Keisha Gibson Carter. Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely. Alderwoman Bernetta Lanier. Don't see them. Alderman Dietrich Leggett.
Here.
Alderwoman Linda Wilder Bryan.
Morning, present.
Good morning. Alderman Nick Palumbo.
Present.
And Alderman Curtis Pertee.
Present in body, mind, and spirit.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Johnson, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I call this special call meeting of the Savannah City Council to order. Today is September the 13th, 2021. The time is 11:36 a.m. I want to thank everyone for joining us on this unusual Monday. I'm going to ask Alderman Nick Palumbo if he would lead us in a prayer.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, give us the strength to guide us through our meeting today and bless our city of Savannah, especially on our annual, the day after Savannah Day. Give us your guidance, your patience, your understanding, and your wisdom to carry us through this successful meeting as we carry out the body and spirit of the city of Savannah. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this meeting is quite simple, and we want to welcome, for the first time, 2 days, really 1 day in, our new city manager, Jay Melder, and we're glad to have you with us, sir. On August the 26th, before that, I met with the chairman of the county commission, Chairman Ellis, the superintendent of the school system, Dr. Ann Levette, and Valerie Ragland, who is the executive director of CAT. And the issue of the conversation was that all of us, in terms of being public employers, had a very relatively low rate, below 50% of our employees that were vaccinated. The concern is that if the school system went down and could not serve their students, that would throw our entire system, both the county school board, also in the city, into peril, because so many of our parents depend on public education. Likewise, we have relatively very low numbers in some of our public safety components. And so a significant outbreak in any of those components would really put us in a bad way in terms of being able to provide effective service delivery. So the thought was for us to be able to work together to offer a consistent plan by which we would offer an incentive to our employees to be vaccinated. When you look at the city, the county, the school board, and CAT, you're talking about a significant number of our community's workforce. And so therefore, a significant number of our residents. And so that if we would offer an incentive to allow our employees to be vaccinated, and we start on the same day and we end on the same day, that we could predict and see essentially how we could bring our numbers down. And so I brought that idea to council on August the 26th. I asked you through resolution to approve directing the city manager to collaborate with other local government and agency representatives to develop the vaccine incentive program. You approved that unanimously, and I thank you for that. And then the work was on the city manager at the time, Heath Lloyd, to go back and work with the school board, with the county, and CAT to come up with a program as best we could that was synergistic. I was not involved in those discussions. And so I'm understanding now that the partners are ready. There is a press conference to announce today that they were going to announce their plan. My position about this was I promised that we would come back to you. So therefore, that's why we have a special meeting today. I did not want to move forward without informing you all about what the plan entailed. And so that was what we promised. And so hence why the meeting today. The initial thought was that we could use ARPA funds, as some of the other agencies are doing, I think that the city manager, both past, interim, and present, have found a way that we don't have to do that. Just through some opportunities within our current budget. So therefore, it's not necessary for us to vote on anything. If we don't move forward today, it's really no reason for us to be involved with the program at all, because the start date and the end date have to be consistent, because you have to have a certain number of days in between your first and your second vaccine. So that's kind of I think where we are at this point. We certainly love our employees. We certainly appreciate our employees. And to be honest with you, I don't want other municipalities, not municipalities, but other public agencies thinking any more of their employees than we think of ours. And so if we have an opportunity to make it consistent where it does not burden our organization significantly, then I think that is something we need to do. I think I'm scared of the impact. If our police department has a significant outbreak and officers can't work, or our fire department, or our sanitation, or any of our internal departments, that people can't work because of COVID. We have to get our numbers above 50%. To be honest with you, I would love to have it in the 80% range. Studies have shown that these incentive programs work. So I'm hoping that a cash incentive will entice some people who were hesitant before to do that. Secondly, now that Pfizer has given regular use approval for its vaccine, that will hopefully make people feel better as well. So that's all I have to say in terms of introduction. Mr. Melder, if you would, go ahead and share with us what you all have come up with.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, and pleased to be in Savannah and with you for the first time at a council meeting. I want to thank you and the council's leadership in passing that resolution in August 26 to give the city the opportunity to work with their partners. It was a very encouraging thing to walk in as city manager day one and be able to do something that I think is going to have a really positive impact on our operation, the safety of our continuity and the safety of our employees. I want to thank Heath Lloyd for all the incredible work he did with our partners in the county to be able to put together a program that looks the same. And I want to thank Jeff Grant, our HR office, and our budget team for doing the work to make sure that we had the funds to be able to do this type of incentive. So let me get down into the details. The incentive would be a $500 pre-tax, pre-personal obligation incentive to all full-time and part-time City of Savannah employees who verify with us through a third-party vendor that they are fully vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus using one of three approved vaccines, approved either fully by the FDA or through emergency use authorization. Our current implementation posture is that that would be available for employees starting today through November 15th, when that incentive would then cut off. Right now, we have just over 50% of our employees who are self-reporting that they have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, around 55% actually. That number is soft, and we need to raise that number. I agree with the mayor's goal of 80. I hope we can get to 100%, but we know that the vaccine is safe. We know that it's effective. We know that it's the best way to protect people against the worst impacts of this virus, including hospitalization and death. It's the best way that organizations can protect itself against any type of production loss or inefficiency as a consequence of needing to quarantine or losing people to sick leave as they deal with the virus. So that's why we think the incentive is a really important thing for the organization of the City of Savannah. More important, and then within that, it's important to be able to stand with our partners today and tell them that we're on board and that our employees are going to be receiving the same type of incentive that their county school board and transit authority counterparts are receiving as well. I think if we don't participate in that press conference today, that could reverberate throughout our organization. Our employees will be looking for us to why aren't we doing the same things that our partners are. So I think for the reasons that vaccinations are the safest, most important thing that we can do to protect ourselves against COVID-19, that they're the most important thing that we can do to protect our operations. And because we want to make sure that our employees know that we stand with them, that we should stand together with our partners this afternoon and announce this incentive. So I'm available to answer any questions, Mayor and Council, that you may have about this program. I have the authority already with the budget you have passed and with the dollars that we have identified, and which I sent you, everyone a memo on Friday, to be able to provide this incentive without further action from Council, and I'm prepared to do so. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Alderman Palumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a clarification from the city manager, you already have the authorization to proceed ahead today without a vote?
Yes, sir.
Very well. I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention, that's a smart decision, because the hill that I was going to die on was any authorization of funding at a special called meeting. Kurt's laughing, and everybody should be laughing, because I've been blowing up everybody concerned about this over the weekend, and having the city manager, the city attorney, and everybody burn the midnight oil over whether or not we should expend funds at a special called meeting. And I think that's really smart. I did know that convening with him over this weekend that, you know, whether or not we moved ahead today with a vote or an authorization would not impact the timeline of whether or not we could offer an incentive. And I think that the public has many different questions, because we don't want to miss the opportunity, not just for our city employees to become educated about this, but for our council and the public to be educated as to why this matters and why it's going to make a difference in our community at our regularly called meeting. That's the big time. And of course, you know, we don't have full attendance today, which is the first time that that's ever happened for our council. We've had perfect attendance up until this point. So I applaud our county partners and Chatham Area Transit and Mayor Johnson for working together with everybody to build these bridges to be able to do it. I want to see more evidence about the incentives. What's the tipping point to get them to work? Because we want to keep our safety at the forefront, and certainly Team Savannah as our #1 priority in the safety of our residents. So thank you, Mr. City Manager. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Palumbo. Yeah, my position again, I would have preferred not to do a special call meeting. However, I committed to you that we would come back to you. And so therefore, I did not want, especially since I was the one who proposed the partnership with the partners, that if they're ready to move forward, I did not want the city of Savannah to be left behind. And so since the details were not worked out until I believe Friday and finalized, I really had no other choice either to wait till the 23rd, but the partners are going to move on anyway. And the city manager said the window would open today. And so then we wouldn't authorize it until the 23rd. So, I think it's important for us to have a unified front. And so I'm glad that Mr. Lloyd, Mr. Melder were able to locate funding within the existing budget. And again, I think that allows us to be able to move expeditiously on it. And then the goal, again, is for us to be in a position where our folks are vaccinated. We just know that our folks have to be vaccinated. And so 80 is a goal, 100 is optimal. And so I appreciate that, your remarks. Alderwoman Wilder-Bryan.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Melder. And thank you, and Heath, I don't see him, for putting this package together. I'm just mindful that during this pandemic, we said that we were going to support our essential workers, and essentially that's all of the workers who work under the umbrella of the city employees. And so nothing gets their attention, anybody's attention, but showing their support through monies. And if that's going to work to make sure that we get more people vaccinated, sick employees from the city of Savannah means a sick economy and bad government. And so we want to make sure that we keep people healthy and that we're vaccinated. We have city employees coming and interacting with all these people from everywhere. And the only thing that I can say, we need to follow the science. And so we are mindful of our budget. But if y'all found money for this, I'm telling y'all, we got to do some streets calm. And I want y'all to get together and find some other money for the other things that we need to do. And right now, the most important for me, I had a whole family. My children had COVID. Dietrich had COVID, Kirk had COVID. We're just blessed that a lot of us didn't have it. And the only way we move forward is to support our employees who we told we were going to give them an incentive to do the right thing. And so money is going to be a catalyst of them doing the right thing. Even if we don't have to vote, I got 2 hands up. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Pertee.
Thank you, Alderwoman Wilder-Bryan. I had the opportunity, to really think about this and talk to some of my colleagues this weekend about it. I shared the same concern as Alderman Palumbo. Initially, my big concerns were, oh my goodness, we're going to be spending this money. We really need to have some public feedback. I will tell you that I did ask our new city manager, Mr. Melder. I said, 1, can we afford this? Yes, we can. 2, do we have a plan? Yes, we do. So, I'm comfortable moving forward. I will tell you that, if we can afford it, let's do it. Our city employees are valuable. And that's the biggest thing, that I was conveying to some city staff not that long ago is that, Team Savannah, these folks are like family to some of us. And we want to be able to take care of those individuals. It's just that we're in a position to be able to do so. That's great. But I also agree with Alderwoman Wilder-Bryan. We've got a lot of things out there we've really got to tackle. This is just one aspect. This is one thing that we have to be able to, I say, move forward on. I don't ever foresee us getting 100% vaccination in any organization, any department. But if we can do a lot better than what we're doing now, and we can try to help curb those numbers and try to help provide a safe environment for our city workers. I mean, my goodness, folks, these people were out there working in the midst of the pandemic. Sanitation workers, public safety workers. They didn't have the luxury of sitting at home, and working remotely. They have to be out there on the front lines, talking to people, dealing with people, and in some cases putting hands on people. So I am comfortable moving forward with it. But again, I do share the concerns that my colleagues share. And initially, I will tell you that I was going to die on that hill with Alderman Palumbo. That's where I was going to be. But I'm okay moving forward with this as long as we have a consensus on it.
Thank you, Alderman Pertee. And to be honest with you, nothing we want to get done gets done unless we have a healthy workforce. Nothing. And so this is what the precipice of what we're trying to do. Mayor Pro Tem. I'm sorry, I saw you, Alderman Leggett. Mayor Pro Tem, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. I just want to make a short statement and we can move forward. The newspaper asked all of us about our top issues in reference and working with our city manager. That came out on the front page on yesterday. And I just want to reiterate my first line statement. And it was coming from me was health and wellness, including addressing a COVID-19 pandemic and keeping citizens and first responders safe is among my top issues. And just like you just said, Mr. Mayor, if we don't have, and we all are clear on this, if our employees, if the staff of the city of Savannah is not healthy, we get nothing done. So I don't have any more words to talk on this. I didn't have any questions in reference to this. I was really and truly elated when the mayor brought it to us about, first of all, the 3 of us getting together. I'm talking about the school board, the county, and the city. And we working together. And y'all, this is such, and I think I said it on record, this is such a great feel for me. And all of us just coming together, Team Savannah. I think the chairman is talking about One Chatham. This is just good. We got to keep everybody healthy with the school board, the city, the county, so we can just move forward. So I have no more words to this. My words are, let's go.
But I think, the other thing is, and then we'll go Alderman Leggett, we're such a close-knit community that there are households in which someone works for the city, they work for the county, the school board, and CAT, and all in the same household. So if everybody's doing, not only are we addressing economic issues for some of our folks, we're also helping to vaccinate households. Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to echo everything that was said prior to me speaking. And I just wanted to give kudos to the city manager, staff, and yourself for spearheading this. And I got a phone call from Ms. Ragland, because I sit on the CAT board, and she was just concerned. She wanted to make sure that we were in a good place and we were on board. I told her, yes, we were on board. We just had to nail down everything and cross our T's and dot our I's. And I think that's the way we do business in the city of Savannah, is we're thorough, but we always have the hearts and minds of our employees and the people who we govern in the forefront of what we do. So thank you guys. Thank you, city manager. And I thank all of you for even putting this on the beginning of your thought process for the week. So let's go ahead and get it done.
Thank you, sir. You be safe out there. Alderman Wilder Bryan and Alderman Palumbo.
This question, Mr. Mayor, is for Attorney Herman. Okay, so we have these incentives for people who want to take the test. How do we protect, what do we have in place for those people who don't want to take the test? Is there going to be something, or you have to show us that you've taken a co-ed test? Because from my understanding, it's the people who are not wanting to fall in line to do the right thing that is causing us to get these variants and stuff. And so if we're giving some of our employees, and I want to hurry up, but I see Ms. Herman, are you understanding what I'm saying, attorney? So if we're saying it's a incentive, what do we do as a means so that the people who are not taking this test, do we require them to have COVID, testing? And can we furnish that with them so that, you know, every 10 days there are, I don't know, mandated or required, and I know that's a kind of iffy word. So are you understanding what I'm saying, Ms. Herman?
Yes, ma'am, I am. At this point, and I would defer to the city manager on the scope of the incentive program. I believe it's just a carrot, not a carrot and a stick approach. I know now that the GMA is circulating model policies and procedures regarding the aspect of it that you're describing. Mm-hmm. But to my knowledge, that's not incorporated at this time into the incentive program.
If I can add, it's not. This is just a carrot. As you know, President Biden gave some sweeping guidance and mandates. And so we're still evaluating what that means for us. That'll be a separate conversation we'll have to have with the council once city manager and city attorney are able to analyze it and determine what that means for us. And then I think obviously, you know, at the end of this incentive program, you know, it might be a lot less people we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. So Mr. Melder, to tag on to that, sir, would it be appropriate for you to suggest that we're still going to be have in place the masks at the city and the social distancing and all the things that we do to follow the science to keep those people safe who are not taking that test from the people who are taking the test, or vice versa?
Yes, ma'am. We'll still have those non-therapeutic interventions. The mask wearing will be socially distant where possible to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. But the vaccine really is the safest, most effective way to do that. So this incentive is really designed to help people who had not made that choice for themselves yet, to give them a little something more to think on, and whether or not to turn down $500 to do the right thing, and the thing that's going to keep themselves and their families safe and their coworkers safe and the people that they serve safe. That's what we want to do here. If at any time, as the mayor said, that the federal government, that we may be required to do something more, or to use the city attorney's office analogy, provide more of a stick, then we'll have to think about what that program entails then. But right now, this $500 is, one, because our city staff deserve it, and two, we think it's the right amount to help those who have not made that decision to get vaccinated go and do that now.
So I have one other question, and I promise I don't have any more questions. So some people are saying that, and I understand depending on how much your annual salary is, the taxation on that $500, can we make a sliding fee or whatever projection of if you make from 0 to $25,000 and you take this 5,000 and you get this $500, this is how much the taxation would be on that? Is there any way that we can do that? Do you think that's appropriate?
Well, we're certainly directing our employees to discuss with their supervisors and with HR what the impact of this additional compensation would be to any one of their liabilities. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I haven't seen anyone turn away extra dollars when added to their paycheck, even if it did impact other obligations a different way. But we'll certainly make that kind of information available to our employees. Certainly how to find that out for themselves as well. So I understand that concern. It's something we discussed. At the end of the day, we wanted to make sure we had this $500 loaded into people's paychecks as soon as they were able to verify a vaccine. Okay, thank you so much, sir. I'm just so elated that this is going to come to fruition. Thank you for your hard work and the staff.
Thank you, Alderman Palumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. City Manager, just some logistical questions to cross our T's and dot our I's. When will the incentive become available? Is the incentive retroactive to those that are already vaccinated? And for city employees that are tuning in right now and want to have more information, how are they going to be able to apply, provide that verification today into the future? And then is there a cutoff date for this incentive program?
So let me take those questions. One, yes, the incentive will be retroactive to all employees who are fully vaccinated. The incentive program now, as designed, will sunset on November 15th, barring any additional things that we may have to comply with per the federal government. Information will be sent to employees starting today about how they can verify their vaccine status. We're going to follow some other partners in the region and use a third-party service, a local third-party service that's able to verify vaccine records for employees and be able to handle that in compliance with HIPAA and be able to verify for us a vaccine status so then we can go ahead and check that box and then load a payment into an employee's paycheck. We're hoping to have that incentive be able to come through on the paychecks no later than November 15th, which would be the end date of the program for those who got it done beforehand.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So again, I want to thank all of you. Certainly thank again Mr. Melder, particularly want to thank Mr. Lloyd who quarterbacked most of this. Again, if you all excuse the special call meeting, so if there's any angst about that, please blame me. But it was more important to me that the council was notified before I had a press conference involving anything. So, you know, sometimes you're caught between a rock and a hard place, and I chose that council notification was more important. And so at Friday, when we had it, I did not want you all to be notified by memo. I wanted you all to have the opportunity to hear directly from the city manager and have the direct opportunity to ask questions. So, Alderwoman Shabazz.
Yes, sir. You said there's a press conference that's going to be today?
There is one. I do not know the time, but there is a press conference of the partners just to announce what we had come up with.
Did you need us present or you got it?
I don't even know where it is, to be honest with you. Are we hosting it here, Mr. Melder? Where is it?
Sir, according to the county, it will be at 2 p.m. today at the Chatham County Legislative Courthouse at 124.
Old courthouse at 2 o'clock.
Second floor.
2 o'clock, old courthouse.
Did you want us? Or you got it?
I mean, if you're available to come, I mean, you know, always the more the merrier. You know, feel free.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. You know, our goal is to get folks vaccinated, and so we want to move forward again. You know, sorry for the Monday thing, but I wanted to make sure that you all were informed in advance of anything being public. I felt that you all deserve that. And so, Mr. City Manager, thank you for helping us to find some unique things and some of our opportunities of the pandemic. Some of the challenges of our pandemic actually just turned into an opportunity. So thank you so much for that. And nothing else to be said. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.